Hi, welcome to the Yacht Club. Yacht is Y-O-T, yoga-based occupational therapy. I'm Stephanie. I'm an occupational therapist as well as a yoga instructor, and today we're going to go through a seated level 1 chair yoga flow. So find yourself a sturdy chair, and some of these poses we're going to need another chair right in front of you. So if you can position your chair about close enough where you can reach that chair in front of you if you lean forward. So take a minute, get set up, and then join me in a chair seated upright. If you have armrests, if you're in a wheelchair, you could swing those back if you're able to balance that way. It will give you a little bit more room to move. So when you're ready, try to lift yourself up off the backrest and sit up nice and tall. And first think about your feet. So ground your feet down into the earth. Maybe wiggle your toes, sort of explore how your feet feel against the ground. Maybe lift up all 10 toes and press them back down one at a time. Then lift up your heels and press them down into the earth. And notice where the center of your foot is. Feel like you could even ground that down into the earth. And from all that stability, find some length and height. So feel like you could grow up out of your feet. So in this position in a chair, your feet are your foundation, but as well as your hips. So do the same thing with your hips. Ground down, feel where your sit bones touch the chair. Find a lot of length and height up through the back of your head. Then begin to take a deep breath here. Notice how your rib cage moves. Make an effort to keep your shoulders relaxed as you take a deep breath. Don't let them hike up towards your ears. So shoulders nice and down and settled. Your inhale expands your chest out to the side. Keeping all that nice height. Let's bring in a little movement. So let your arms come down to your side. Deep inhale, raise your arms up overhead. They can definitely stop at a T or a Y or come all the way up next to your ears. And then as you exhale, bring your hands together down through heart center. Inhale up and out. Exhale through center. One more time. Big inhale. And exhale. Now notice sometimes when you reach overhead, your ribs want to pop forward like this. So when we're reaching up, you really want to keep those ribs knitted down and in. So it's mostly your shoulders that are moving. So give it a try one more time. Big inhale. And just notice, is your whole rib cage thrust forward? If it is, just draw it back in and feel your shoulders. Your shoulder blades are rotated up and out. And as you exhale, come back through center. Then let your hands come to your knees. We'll find a little spinal mobility here. So on an inhale, bring your shoulder blades together and arch your back, maybe even lift your chin. This is cow pose. Deep inhale. Then on an exhale, round your back. So you're going to create like a C shape with your back. This is cat. You're imagining more like an angry Halloween cat with its back arched. Inhale, arch your back. Big back bend. Exhale, round it. Notice that even your pelvis tilts so that your low back can round. Inhale forward. And exhale back. See if you can move with your own breath here. Squeezing those shoulder blades on your inhale. Exhale, letting everything round. Notice your shoulder blades moving apart from each other. Exhale for cat. Then find neutral. Sit back up nice and tall. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, draw your elbows down and out to the side like goalpost arms. So you're drawing your elbows back, and then try to see if you can bring your wrists back behind your elbows. They probably won't go past your elbows, but you're really activating those muscles. And breathe here. So you feel a big spread through your chest, big stretch in your shoulders. Then just notice what your rib cage is doing. Make sure you're still sitting up nice and tall. Now let's move with your breath here. Inhale up. Exhale, pull down. Shoulder blades draw together. Inhale up. Exhale, pull down. Inhale up. And exhale, really spread your chest, stretch those shoulders. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Then hinge from your hips, reach forward towards that chair in front of you. So all the bending here is at your hips and your back is nice and straight. Really ground through your feet, reach through the crown of your head, and push down through your heels. So you're really rooted here. So through the heels of your feet and also the heels of your hands. So you're engaging through your shoulders. This is downward dog. You may need to adjust your chair or your hand placement. Imagine you could grow your spine longer. And you've got a lot of energy going down through your hands and your feet. Deep, smooth breath here. Then bring your hands to your knees one at a time. Press yourself back upright. Then let's flow from cactus to downward dog. So you're going to inhale up. Exhale. Hands or elbows draw down, hands draw back. Inhale, reach up, lean forward. Exhale, press down. Inhale, bring your hands to your knees. Press up. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, elbows draw back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, press down into downward dog. Imagine your head and your hips are reaching apart from each other. Take a few breaths here. Really lengthening your spine. Hands come to your thighs. Press yourself up. One more time. Inhale, up high. Exhale, elbows draw down, wrists draw back. Inhale, reach up. And bend forward, hinging from the hips. And really stretch and strengthen here in down dog. Last deep breath here, pressing even more through the heels of your hands. And bring your hands to your thighs and gently press yourself back up. Now I'm going to turn my chair so you can see what I'm doing, but you can stay where you are. Okay. So find yourself again in neutral. We're going to warm up your hips a little bit more now that the shoulders are really warm. So stay nice and tall. Sit bones are really grounded into your chair. Begin to just point your toes so your heels lift off the floor and bring them back down to the earth. Kind of waking up those legs. Then begin to step one foot out to the side as far as feels natural and comfortable, but maybe as you do it a few times, it starts to step a little bit wider. So you're using the strength of your own leg to step up and out. The opposite foot stays really well grounded into the earth. And switch legs, out and in. Just creating a little bit of space in the hip joint and strength. That leg that's moving stays nice and light, and your opposite foot is really grounded. Then bring one heel to your opposite shin. Stay nice and tall. You can hold on to your chair for stability and slide your heel up from your ankle to your knee. Just warming up those muscles. Keeping your breath nice and smooth. And plant that foot and switch to the other side. Sliding that heel, ankle to knee. Big exhale on the lift. Your exhale has a lot of power here because you're contracting your core as you breathe out. Nice. Then plant both feet. Get nice and tall. Step one foot out in front of you. You may need to sit a little farther forward towards the edge of your seat. So make sure one foot is really well grounded. Opposite foot straightens in front of you. And toes flex backward. So imagine you could even get your pinky toe to touch your shin. So you're really pulling it back, but from the outside. Then sit really tall. Maybe hold on to your chair and begin to hinge forward from your hips. If you're feeling unstable here, just stay upright. It's already a pretty big stretch. But if you've got the space, begin to lean forward out over your outstretched leg. And just notice where you feel any tension. Really lengthen to the top of your head to keep your back straight. And if you find more space on your exhale, you can lean a little farther forward. Then use your hands to help you press back up. And take a moment here while your ankle is free to do some ankle circles. So draw some circles with your toes, a few in one direction, and then we'll go the opposite way. And begin to flex your foot and point it. Always using your breath. And plant that foot. Let's step forward with the opposite foot, really flexing your heel or your pinky toe up towards your shin. And get really tall. If you've got room, hinge forward from your hips, keeping your back nice and long. No wrinkles in the back of your neck, so your back of your head stretches out far in front of you. And you're always breathing. Let your sit bones settle even more into your seat, so you're still really grounded through your hips, not letting your whole bottom come up out of the chair. And press yourself back up. Let's find some ankle rolls on this side. And let this feel good. So do what your body feels like it needs here. The more we're moving joints, the better lubricated they're going to be. So you'll have less pain and stiffness if you get more mobility. So just moving that ankle around can really feel nice and can also help prevent pain. We're just pointing and flexing. Maybe even move it side to side. Okay, and draw that foot back up underneath you. So now we're going to progress to some traditionally standing poses, but in a chair. So if you have a chair without armrests, step one foot out to the side, all the way to the side edge of your chair. If you do have armrests, you can just do a wide sit. And I'd like to get you to 90 degrees, so you may have to adjust your hips a little bit so that one foot points off the side of the chair and one foot points straight forward. So now you're kind of facing towards the corner of your chair. Turn your whole upper body so that you face forward. So you're going to feel a twist, some tension through this hip, and really root through your hips and feet so you can stay really stable here. You may stay in this position with one hand on your inside of your knee and one hand on a hip, getting really tall, looking straight forward. But if you feel really well grounded, reach one arm all the way out to the side and other arm spreads across to the other side. And you can gaze over your front fingertips and take a deep breath here. This is Warrior Two. So press so much through your feet that you feel like you're not sitting in a chair. So we're using the same amount of energy that if you were standing, but you've got the stability of the chair beneath you. Shoulder blades draw together in this pose, keeping your chest really open, but your low belly lifts up and in so that your hips are stable and your back is supported. Then reach out through your arm that's facing towards the side and place your elbow on your knee. So you're kind of leaning out, you're feeling a big stretch through your side body. And then your other arm reaches straight up. So your chest is still spread. This is side angle pose. So breathe a lot of space into your side body, actually on both sides. So we're not crunching through this side. We're keeping everything really long and open like a big arch. And then your breath is really smooth and easy here. Then reach through your top fingertips so you can lengthen up and back to the center. Step your feet so they're just wide apart. You're centered, your hips and torso are both facing forward. Lengthen as much as you can through the top of your head and then begin to fold forward. So it may help you to have a block or something in front of you here, or you can hold on to your legs or your thighs. But we're going to hinge from the hips and fold all the way forward. Maybe your hands could come all the way to the ground. Wherever you are, release the weight of your head. Let your neck relax, maybe shake it side to side. And keep your hips and feet grounded so you don't feel like you're going to fall forward. Take some deep, smooth breaths here. Then when you're ready to come up, place your hands on your thighs and really ground through your feet and hips as you press yourself back up. And we're going to find Warrior Two on the other side. So one foot points straight forward and the opposite foot steps off to the side of your chair. Adjust your hips as you need to. And then begin to twist your torso to the front. So that starts down low from your belly, your whole rib cage points forward. So maybe you stay here with a hand on the hip. Maybe you reach arms out to the side. Your gaze can come out over this side arm. Really draw those shoulder blades together. Your neck is long and hips are really grounded. You can peek back at your back arm and double check to make sure that it's even with the front. And just stay as tall and lifted as you can while at the same time you're really grounding down through your hips and feet. So there's always sort of an opposite energy movement of down and up. Then begin to reach through your front arm, hinging from your hips, getting a lot of length in your side body. Place one elbow down on your knee and opposite arm reaches up. Now, if it's too much effort for this arm to reach up, you can definitely bring it back to your hip. If you have your arm extended, you can draw your shoulder blades together. but mainly find a lot of length through both sides of your body. You can press your elbow down into your knee to get some lift there too, some support. This is side angle pose. Reach up through your fingertips and come back to center. Let's find one more forward fold. So step your feet wide. Hands can start on your knees as you begin to hinge forward. Maybe you even find some spinal rolls here. Just coming forward and rolling back up. And then you can reach all the way forward. Maybe bring your hands down to an elevated surface or to the floor. Let all your neck tension release here. The weight of your head is fully released. Then begin to bring your hands back to your knees, press through your feet and through your hips, and roll back up. Then step one foot out to the side, just like we did before, but this time the leg's going to come a little closer to straight. So one foot facing forward is bent and planted. Your foot that steps out to the side is a little bit straightened. Your torso will turn forward once again. Then bring your arms out to the side, reach forward, and bring one hand maybe down to your shin or to your thigh. This is triangle pose. So the opposite arm reaches up overhead. You're finding a lot of length through your side body, a lot of openness across your chest. Let your heart shine forward. If you have a block, you're welcome to put a block right here for your hand to rest on instead of your shin. Then reach through your fingertips, come back up to center, and step your feet to the middle. Bring your feet wide once again, but this time we're going to keep them bent and really grounded. We're going to find some strengthening. So this is going to be goddess pose. So bring your hands together at heart center. Then begin to shift your weight forward and press down through your feet like you could stand up out of your chair. And we're going to hold it for 3 seconds. So press 1, 2, 3, and relax. We're going to do that 5 times. Press 1, 2, 3, relax. Press and breathe, relax. Lean forward, press through those feet. Relax. And last time, really press and deep breath, really strengthen through those feet and relax. And let one foot step forward, your other foot steps out to the side. Find some straightness here through that side leg. Won't be able to fully straighten because then you can't plant your foot on the ground. So find your posture here. Let your torso rotate forward. Extend through your arms. Reach one arm out and let it come to either your thigh or your shin. And find a lot of openness through your chest for triangle pose. You can look up towards your top hands, or you can keep your gaze forward or down, whatever feels most balanced to you. And keep your breath nice and smooth here. And then reach through your top fingers, come back up to center. So from here, we're going to begin to slow the breath a little bit, begin to wind down. Bring one leg across the other leg if you can. So draw your knee up and over to cross your legs here. Sit up really tall. Bring one hand to the outside of your knee and the other hand behind your chair. Begin to find a bit of a twist. So we never want to force a twist. So you're going to really ground through your hips and find a lot of length first on your inhale. Get as tall as you can. And then on your exhale, if there's some room, you might be able to press a little deeper. But certainly don't jam yourself any farther. Just looking for length and space. You can keep your cross leg, your foot flexed, just to keep that energy through your feet. We're just breathing here. Let your breath be so deep that you can feel it in your stomach. Really spreading through the sides of your ribs. And gently begin to unwind. Take a breath here in the center. Then begin to draw your arms up and together. You're keeping your leg crossed. If you can, bring your elbows and hands together. If that's too much, you could come back down and just give yourself a bit of a hug. It's going to achieve the same thing. But if you've got the room to draw your elbows together, then let's go with that. So you're going to take a deep breath here. Find your stability through your spine. Then if you have some more room, you can draw your elbows upward. Keeping that energy always between your elbows. You could even begin to look up towards the ceiling. This is a variation of eagle pose. And exhale, come back down. Uncross your legs and let's find a cross on the other side. Keep that energy through your feet. And place a hand on the outside of your knee. Other hand comes behind your chair. Breathe and twist. Let your breath still be smooth and slow here. And just notice what part of your body is moving when you breathe. See if you can let it be the sides of your rib cage, expanding kind of like gills on a fish. And gently unwind. Then we'll find eagle on this side. So begin to draw your arms up and together. Now, if this is too much, remember you can come to giving yourself a hug here. So the goal with this posture is that we're bringing your shoulder blades apart from each other. So that can happen in the hug or in this position. Keep your feet active. Your belly's engaged. And if you have space, you can begin to lift your elbows up and maybe lift up your head, your chin a little bit. Imagine there are magnets between your elbows, really drawing them together. And gently bring your arms back down and uncross your legs. And place your hands on your knees. Begin to find some deep breaths here. We're just going to really wind down, come back to rest. So take a deep inhale, raise your shoulders up towards your ears, and bring them down and together in the back. Then spread them apart as they come all the way down. So let's find that circle again. Breathe your shoulders up, squeeze them together, then let them come apart and down. One more time, inhale up, squeeze together, and bring them apart. Then let your neck stretch by dropping one ear towards your shoulder. Just gently, we're not pulling anything, just letting gravity do the work. And gently let your head roll towards the other side. And let's go back and forth. Try to move with your breath here. Then as you roll to one side, turn your head to look all the way over that shoulder. And gently turn your head to the other side. Keeping your breath nice and deep and slow. And find center. Then just begin to scoot back in your chair so you can kind of lean back and rest against the backrest. Your core has been doing a lot of work here. And take a few moments to find total rest and surrender. So you can let your arms totally rest. Release all that effort. Maybe let your eyes come to closed. Relax the muscles in your hips. Let your hips sort of melt down into the chair. Let your shoulders relax. And release the effort with your breath. So just notice what your breath is doing naturally here. Maybe notice if you could feel it coming in and out of your nose. Relax the muscles in your thighs and in your feet. Even relax your muscles in the skin of your face. And relax your tongue from the roof of your mouth. And maybe begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe run your thumb across your fingertips. And use your hands to gently pull yourself back up. You can let your eyes stay heavy here. And just take a moment to consider what your body has done for you here today, how you've listened to it, the attention that you've given it, and spend some moments in gratefulness for choosing mobility, choosing kindness for your body. And one last time, bring your arms out to the side. Breathe in as you reach up, stretch overhead, and exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. Thank you so much for taking time to practice with me and engaging in mobility. Namaste. I'll see you back here soon.